Okay, so good morning, everybody. At least it's still morning for me. This is my second blog in my IDS 4.3 class. This week, we focus on what a technological identity is and if everyone has one. I say if because I think it's a generalizational thing where, some people grew up with social media. I was kind of in the in-between part where it was, I'm in my 30s now, but it was in high school. I didn't have a cell phone, whereas, you grow up with cell phones and social media and everything now, whereas, people that, like my grandparents, they're not on social media. So that's why I say if you have one. So the first question that I'm going to talk about today is, how is your digital identity different from your real world self, and how is it the same? That's an interesting question because I think it can vary from from individual to individual. But for me personally, I try to be as honest as a person I can be on social media. I'm not really big on social media. I'm not the guy that's, hey, I'm eating a cheeseburger or taking a selfie of myself. I think the way it started was a great way to keep in touch, and that's what I use it for. You can organize, do all sorts of things on there. I'm not, really trying to get my 15 minutes of fame on there, as I think some people do. So I would have to say that my digital identity and real world self are pretty much the same. Okay, next question. How does technology enable you to be more fully expressed as a specific dimension of your identity? I'm going to use the example of pictures for this. I think we have a play-by-play of people's lives all the time. I think social media nowadays almost gives us I like to call it a highlight reel into people's lives. Oftentimes people only share the really good stuff that is happening, and this can affect other people because they see those highlight reels and it can make them feel what they are doing is as great as, what so-and-so is doing online. So social media can definitely affect the way you feel throughout the day on them. The next question is, how does technology govern, influence, or shape your identity? Okay, so from the second that you woke up today, my guess is that you are using some sort of technology. You're watching this blog right now. You've been using technology throughout your day. Your cell phone alarm could have woke you up this morning. I know mine did. You may have gotten right on social media before you even jumped out of your bed. You're checking your Facebook, your Twitter, whatever you have. For me, I did look at my Facebook before I got out of bed today. Your coffee maker, you turn it on or it's programmed. I think another example is, like, I don't even have to go to the bank anymore. Online banking, I get a check, I take out my smartphone, I take the picture of it, it goes right into my account. So I would say that basically I think technology has a really big influence on us throughout our day, in many, many ways. Okay, so next the question is, how is your digital identity a product of the social and technological context in which you live? All right. I think the best way to answer this is to say that I use the example of teenagers. Their social environment tends to dictate the way they use social media, and vice versa. Social media dictates their social environment. Next question. How is your online identity like a performance? I think this really comes back to how I refer to it as almost like a highlight reel, and I'll use the example of the selfie. These are usually taken when you are doing something fun and great, not when you're downstairs doing the laundry. You're not going to pull out your phone and be like, hey, I just did my whites, and take a picture of your clothes. I mean, or if you're doing the dishes, you do it when you're doing something great in your day. So it's definitely a performance. Using a quote from the Blot article this week, life in a virtual jail. They use the philosopher Foucault to describe this idea of people creating their own identities through social media performance. Okay, so how is your behavior different when you're in public? I think everybody tries to be on their best behavior if they know they're being watched. What people do behind closed doors is going to be totally different than how they are in public. I guess an example, if I use myself, is, once you get to know me, I'm me. But if you don't get to know me, I could be at home, singing and dancing around when I'm not being watched. But, I would not do that in public unless I was around really close friends or people close to me. I try to be, calm, cool, and collected. So this brings us to our last question. How does your digital identity affect your sense of who you are as a person? Your digital identity can make you feel more or less popular by how many likes you get on Facebook or a picture of yourself. People watch for these comments. It can be very uplifting, or it can have an adverse effect. It could be negative, and you can look at like, oh, I thought this was a really good picture of myself. Nobody seemed to like it. I think this is a major issue for young users on social media who really take a lot of pride in it. Not so much me, but the younger generations really rely on it. So this brings me to the end of my blog. Thank you for listening, and everybody have a great day. Thank you.